Uh, a very good afternoon, all of you, and welcome for today's lecture. So, in the last lecture, we have completed the section number 1 of NTA subject and also completed the unit number 3, that is two port network. So, today we are going to start the section 2 of NTA subject, and instead of chapter 4, we are starting the chapter number 5. Okay, so unit number 5 or chapter number 5 is network function. Network functions. So this chapter somewhat linked with unit number 3. This unit is somewhat linked to unit number 3. Okay. So network function. So according to triple P, we will start what will be the syllabus, then what is the title, what is the meaning of title of the chapter, central idea of the chapter, then importance of the chapter, why we are learning this, what is the use of this learning, this network function chapter, what is the practical use, then which book we have to refer for this particular chapter, what will be the outcome, course outcome or chapter outcome, we can say what will be the chapter outcome at the end of this unit number 5. So all these we will cover in this lecture. So first of all, we will start with first point, that already we will start, that is with syllabus. What will be the syllabus or what are the points we are going to discuss in this unit? So first of all, the complex frequency. The first part will be complex frequency. So complex frequency means what? Why it is called as complex? So what will be the concept of that? What is the use and how it is related to network function? That all we are going to learn in this bit. That is the concept of complex frequency. So based on this, there will be a theory question will there asked in university question paper also. Explain the concept of complex frequency or write a short note on complex frequency, asking for 4 marks. Okay, now next bit will be there, that will be the network function. So based on network function, there may be a theory question or there may be a numerical problem. Many times they are asking the numerical problems based on the network function. So here we are learning the network function for one port and network function for two port network. So network function for one port and two port networks. So after that, poles and zeros. So this is very interesting concept. Poles and zeros of network function. So this will be the third part in this unit. So poles and zeros of network function. First of all, we are going to understand what is the network function. Then we can understand what is the meaning of poles, what is the meaning of zeros, what is the practical use of these poles and zeros, how we can decide the stability of the system based on the poles and zeros. Okay, so the whether the given system is stable or unstable, that we can decide with the help of location of poles and zeros of that particular system. So all these part we are going to cover in this bit, that is poles and zeros of a network function. In this we are going to also learn, that is time domain behavior analysis, time domain behavior of the system from poles and zeros. पोल्स अँड झिरोज वरनं तुम्हाला टाइम डोमेन बिहेवियर काढता येतो. सो दीज आर दी bits we are going to learn, These are the points we are going to learn in this unit, that is the network function. Okay, so in the examination, in the university examination, there will be 14 marks question will be there. 12 to 14, minimum 12, maximum 14. So in the section 2, this chapter will help a lot. Understood? So compared to unit number 4, unit number 5 and 6 are very easy to understand. So we are starting the complex frequency. Okay, before complex frequency, we will cover according to triple B each and every point. So next will be, what is the meaning of title? What is the title here? Network function. So we'll cover under that title of the chapter. Title of the chapter or title of the unit. So what is the title here? Network function. So why I called it is related to unit number 3? Because see here, the second point, for one port and two port networks. So network function we are defining for one port and two port network function. That's why after the end of unit number 3, we are suddenly taking unit number 5 because it is somewhat linked. Okay, now network function. So what do you mean by network? Already I have told to you at the start of this subject. हा सब्जेक्ट सुरू करतानाच सांगितलं होतं नेटवर्क थेअरी अँड अनालिसिस. त्याच्यामध्ये नेटवर्कचं डेफिनेशन सांगितलेलं होतं. सो व्हॉट इज द नेटवर्क? नेटवर्क इज इंटरकनेक्शन ऑफ द सर्किट्स. Network is interconnection of the simple circuits. Okay, and what is the function? Function may be with respect to time, with respect to omega, whatever. Okay, so mainly we are taking the function with respect to time. So the function which is related to network are called as network functions. Remember it. Okay, so नेटवर्कचं डेफिनेशन काय आहे बघा. Network means interconnection of circuits. Interconnection of circuits. Small circuits म्हणा. Example काय दिलं होतं? Suppose our class, lab, office, library. So these are the individual circuits. So if you are connecting together, then it will called as the campus. It will call as a building. So that campus or building is nothing but your network. Have you understood? Now next, network function. So what do you mean by network function now? How we can define? Anyone? Okay, so network function means the functions okay, whose value depends on variable, whose value depends on variable with respect to what? T, x, y, omega, कुठलेही घ्यावू शकता. Okay, so network function is nothing but the function whose value depends on the variable. Especially example you can take as a time t. Okay, now next, so what is the meaning of overall network function, or what is the function of this particular network? So network function exhibits the relationship between transform of ट्रान्सफॉर्म ऑफ सोर्स और एक्साइटेशन. सोर्स म्हणजे जे आपण व्होल्टेज सोर्स म्हणा किंवा करंट सोर्स कनेक्ट करतो ना, त्याला सोर्स किंवा एक्साइटेशन म्हणतो. इट शोज द रिलेशनशिप बिटवीन ट्रान्सफॉर्म ऑफ सोर्स और एक्साइटेशन to the transform of to the transform of response for for a network. So response means what? To the transform of response. So response is nothing but output. So input is what? Voltage source, current source, etc. And transform of response, that is output for a network. So which shows the relation between input and output for a given network, that is nothing but network function. It shows the relation between network input and network output. Understood? Now next point, central idea of the chapter. So what we are going to learn in this chapter, that coming under center idea of the chapter. So first point, we will consider point wise central idea of the chapter. In this chapter, or this chapter deals with network functions for one port and two port networks. It is related to. Then second point will be, okay, second point will be the poles and zeros. So second point, plotting. So we have to plot poles and zeros. Plotting poles and zeros in S domain. So S domain is called as what? S domain म्हणजेच काय? Laplace domain. Already you learned the Laplace transform in M3. Laplace transform झालंय का चालू आहे? It is going on or completed? Yes. So plotting poles and zeros in a S domain, that is S domain is nothing but Laplace domain. Okay. Plotting poles and zeros in S domain, which gives the stability of system. म्हणजे त्याच्यावरनं तुम्हाला ओळखता येतं की गिवन सिस्टम स्टेबल आहे का अनस्टेबल आहे. नेक्स्ट वन, टाइम डोमेन बिहेवियर एनालिसिस. टाइम डोमेन बिहेवियर of network function. Time domain behavior of network function from poles and zeros. Okay, so first of all we are going to start with the help of network, that is a complex frequency. Then complex frequency, how to use for representing the network function. Then we are studying the network function for one port and two port networks. After that, how to plot the poles and zeros of a given network function, what will be the significance of the poles and zeros, and from the poles and zeros of a network function we are going to obtain the time domain response. Okay, so these are the points we are going to cover in this unit, and these all are included in the central idea of the chapter. Now next will be what is the use of this chapter, why we are learning, that's coming under the importance of the chapter. Each and everything whatever we are going to learn in the engineering, that must have application. So importance of this chapter, why we are going to learn. त्याशिवाय तुम्ही का शिकतायत ह्याचा आन्सर जोपर्यंत मिळणार नाही तोपर्यंत तुम्हाला सॅटिस्फाय होणार नाही की वाय वी आर लर्निंग. ओके, व्हॉट इज द यूज इन आवर डेली लाईफ, what is the use in our day to day life. So importance of this chapter is uh, on the completion of this chapter, on the completion of this chapter, we will find whether the given system is stable or not. So what is the use of the given system is stable. जर स्टेबल असेल तर काय होईल, अनस्टेबल असेल तर काय होईल. Okay, so I will give the example orally. Our body is itself a control system. Understood? Our body is itself a control system whose control is in hand of heart as well as brain. आपलं जे शरीराचं कंट्रोल असतं ना, okay, that control is with brain as well as heart. So something is happening with us, so immediately we can recognize it. Suppose we are walking on the road and suddenly vehicle is coming in front of us. So what we can do, either we will shift towards somewhat in the either direction, either left or right, or we can stop that vehicle by making hand. Something reaction will be there, correct? So we have five sensors with eye, ear, then tongue is there, skin is there, nose is there, smelling. So by sensing we can give the input to brain. So according to the input, the brain will decide what will be the reaction. Understood? So for perfect control system, for perfect stable system, all should be working in a good manner. प्रत्येक फंक्शन जे असणार आहे अवयवांचं ते प्रॉपर व्हायला पाहिजे की नाही. If you are not able to see, what will happen? If you are not able to hear, what will happen? If you are not smelling, what will happen? If your skin is not responding, what will happen? What will happen? So for that, the given system should be stable. So whenever we are purchasing any product, electronics product, that product must be stable. Any product you can take, home appliances. If you are switch on the fan, but if it is not rotating, even though we are giving the supply, but it is not giving any output, then what is the use of that fan? Understood? If you are switching, suppose your mobile, if display is not working, what will happen? If display is not working, what will happen? It is unstable system. So for making the stable system, we must know the poles and zeros of that network function. So poles and zeros are nothing but R and C elements. Especially we are talking about the control system, and that control system has many applications, especially in the automobile sector, in the mechanical sector, then somewhat in the electronic systems. Understood? So the given system must be stable, and for that we must know the function of that product. We must know the network function of that product. Understood? So for this we are going to learn this chapter. So this is the importance of this chapter, practical way. The second one, So time domain response we can obtain from the poles and zeros. So poles and zeros is very important concept in the control system subject also, which you are going to learn in the second semester. Are you understand? So this is the main application why we are learning this chapter. Now next one, uh, actually Routh criteria is one of the criteria based on which we can identify whether given system is stable or not, and that is not a part of your syllabus now. But in previous syllabus of this chapter, that point was there. आत्ताच्या syllabus मध्ये नाही आहे. Okay, so only we are learning whether the system is stable or not, and also we are getting the time domain response from poles and zeros. So next one, chapter objective or outcomes. Chapter objectives or outcomes. So first of all we will talk about objective. काय काय शिकणार आहे that will coming under objective. So concept of complex frequency, next one concept of network function for one port and two port networks. Third one poles and zeros of network function, and fourth one time domain रिस्पॉन्स किंवा बिहेवियर म्हणू शकतो आपण. टाइम डोमेन बिहेवियर फ्रॉम poles and zeros of network function. Now outcome. So outcome is nothing but CO5. This is the CO5, CO number 5. So outcome is analyze one port and two port network function. One port and two port network functions. So this is the outcome, that is CO number 5. Analyze one port and two port network function. And at the last, recommended book. Recommended book or books we can say. So as usual, circuit and network. Circuit and networks by A. Sudhakar and S. Shamon Palli. Okay, second book you can consider the that will be Ravi Singh. Author Ravi Singh is there. So network analysis and synthesis by Ravi Singh. So this is also a good book. Okay, so these two books you can refer, especially first one for this particular chapter, for this particular unit. Okay, so this will be the according to triple P. Resume now. So you can consider the prerequisites. Prerequisites of this chapter. Before the starting of this chapter, we require something. So what is something Laplace transform we requires? You can help me in regarding this Laplace transform. Simultaneously we can discuss. So suppose if f of t is any function, suppose f of t is any function of time t, then Laplace transform Laplace transform of f of t is given by how to write now? If f of t is any function of the time t, then Laplace transform of f of t is given by, how to denote now? Laplace transform, anyone? Okay. So f of s, it is denoted as f of s, that is nothing but Laplace transform of f of t. Am I correct? F of s is equal to Laplace transform of f of t. So in terms of function, how we can write? Minus infinity to plus infinity e raised to minus st into f of t into u of t with respect to t. So u of t means unit function. So unit functionचा range काय असतो? 0 to infinite. It is 1. Okay. So as with respect to unit function is there, so the we can say uh, limits will change. So limits will change now 0 to infinity, because minus infinity to 0, unit function is always 0. That's why total becomes 0. So 0 to infinity, unit function is always 1. So f of t into e raised to minus st with respect to dt, because unit function u of t is 1 for t greater than equal to 0. Okay. So next one, this is called as what? Laplace transform f of s. So inverse Laplace now. इनवर्स लॅपलास, तुम्हाला लॅपलास माहित आहे? लॅपलास म्हणजेच एस डोमेन माहित आहे. So from S domain, suppose you have to recover into time domain. So you have to use the inverse Laplace transform. So how to get? That is nothing but f of t is equal to Laplace inverse of f of s. So that is nothing but 1 upon 2 pi 0 to infinite f of s into e raised to st. This is infinite, e raised to st with respect to ds, with respect to s domain, that is yes. Okay. So now next I will give the function here. You have to tell now Laplace transform. Here the function in time, and this will be the Laplace transform at the right side. So these all functions we require, some functions we require actually for this unit. So first number, suppose the function is delta t. What will be the Laplace transform of delta t? Delta t means what? Impulse function. Impulse फंक्शनचं लॅपलास ट्रान्सफॉर्म काय असतं? किती असते? It is always 1. Second one, u of t, स्टेप फंक्शन u of t, त्याचा लॅपलास ट्रान्सफॉर्म काय असतो? लॅपलास ट्रान्सफॉर्म स्टार्टेड ना इन M3. M3 मध्ये स्टार्ट झालाय ना? हॅलो, What is the Laplace transform of u of t? This is required most of the times for us in this unit. u of t. काय असणार आहे लॅप्लास ट्रान्सफॉर्म? 1/s असतो का? u of t चा लॅप्लास ट्रान्सफॉर्म 1/s आणि 1/s चा लॅप्लास ट्रान्सफॉर्म दिला असेल त्याचा इन्व्हर्स घ्यायचा असेल तर u of t येणार. थर्ड वन only t, that is called as रॅम्प फंक्शन म्हणतो आपण t. that is 1/s square. Fourth one, e raised to minus at, inverse, sorry, exponential, e raised to minus at. 1/s plus a. So first five are very important, remember. e raised to at, e raised to at, 1/s minus a. Sixth one, sin omega t. त्याचा लॅप्लास ट्रान्सफॉर्म काय येणार आहे? ओमेगा अपॉन s स्क्वेअर प्लस ओमेगा स्क्वेअर. ओके. 7, cos of omega t. s upon plus omega square. Okay. So first 5 is very important, and after that intermediate म्हणजे medium 6 and 7 it is required. Okay. So still functions are there in the Laplace transform which is actually not required for this unit, but still we can add it. So eighth one will be sin at. So it is a upon s square minus a square. Then 9, cos hyperbolic, all are these hyperbolic trigonometric functions. So that is s upon s square minus a square. 10th will be t into e raised to minus at. Two functions are there multiplied here. So that will give 1/s plus a square. कारण e raised एक्सपोनेन्शियलचं काय येणार 1/s plus a आणि t असल्यामुळे 1/s स्क्वेअर असतो म्हणजेच s plus a ब्रॅकेट स्क्वेअर. So 11th will be e raised to minus at into sin omega t. असं जर असेल, already this function you solved in the M3. Okay, e raised to minus at into sin omega t. त्याचं काय येणार omega upon s plus a bracket square plus omega square. So 12th one, e raised to minus at into cos of omega t. So that is s plus a divided by s plus a bracket square plus omega square. And lastly, t raised to n function. N is 1, 2, 3, 4 up to infinite, whatever may be. So that is n upon n upon s raised to n plus 1. No, it is n upon s raised to n plus 1. Okay. So this will be the Laplace transform of all these functions. Especially we requires only 4 to 5 functions. First 5 or first 7 we can say. Understood? So this will be the prerequisite we required for this unit. So any doubt in this? You can cross check the last one. T raised to n चा cross check करा किती येते बघा. n factorial येते का? Okay. n factorial divided by s raised to n plus 1. Okay. So this will be the prerequisite. Formulas you must know. Without formulas, it is difficult to get the time domain response.